On one dark historic night in May of 1940, a wolf was born to Civic Broadcasting Company and its president, T. Sherman Marshall. 28 years later, the wolf had grown from a mere cub to a powerful, awesome force in the Syracuse radio market. You will now hear the sound of the wolf from its birth to the present day. After many delays and a year's wait, Mr. Marshall's new station finally began operating in 1940. The choice of call letters was a difficult search. Marshall wanted to find a four-letter word beginning with W, a word that could be spoken and remembered by his audience. He first chose the call letters W-O-R-M, but later decided that W-O-L-F would be more appropriate. We are indebted to Mr. Marshall's foresight, for if the right decision had not been made, you might now be listening to the history of a worm. The original WOLF was the first station in the United States to establish a format or definite pattern of music, and played all forms of popular music by request. Marshall also set up studio facilities for recording singing commercials, and WOLF became a pioneer in the manufacturing of jingles, a form of commercials most prevalent today. In 1949, WOLF acquired the first in a long string of personality radio announcers. A student of Syracuse University, originally from White Plains, New York, began a career that was to span over 20 years in radio and television, including the most popular teenage dance show in the history of TV.
-5, 4, 3.
Hi, this is Dick Clark, and the countdown is underway.
3 more days to the Dick Clark Show.
And you won't want to miss our very first show. All of your favorite stars will be here in person.
Hi, gang, this is Bobby Darin.
Hi, this is Connie Stevens.
This is Paul Anka.
That's right. We'll all be here on the new Dick Clark Radio Show. 2 big hours every afternoon, Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 on WOLF.
Dick Clark was one of the original disc jockeys to play rock and roll, the new music form that was emerging in the early 1950s. Along with Alan Freed of Cleveland, Clark and WOLF were trendsetters in the new music. During the period of 1952 to 1958, one of the most popular shows in Syracuse radio was the all-night Sandman Show with Bill Van Cleek. The show featured all forms of popular music, including country and western, rockabilly, and standards. In 1959, the Wolf was purchased by Ivy Broadcasting, and a switch to all rock and roll was made. Dusty Rhodes continued the tradition of the Sandman Show. At the turn of the decade, program director Ted Hackett hired a group of successful personalities who were to set the pattern for Wolf's broadcasting in the early 1960s. Such names as Gene Nelson, Denny Bracken, Larry Light, and Mr. Sunshine became household words with all Syracuse listeners. And the leader of the Wolfpack Party, Tom T.W. Saunders.
Tommy Saunders. Shrinks hemorrhoids. Past 10. It's the way we open up the Tommy Saunders Show. Take this between your ears.
Is Luke Chilson, and he turns his gun belt into a money belt. The ugly ones, suggested for mature audiences.
But let's all go anyway. Maybe we can sneak in the back. 10-11 with Tommy Saunders. Fair skies through Saturday. We'll have low overcast along the coast, extending inland nights and mornings. Little change in temperature, low both nights in the 50s. High tomorrow 60 to 70. Northwest winds throughout.
If you knew Peggy Sue, then you know why I feel blue without Peggy. My Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, Carol, and I want you, Peggy Sue.
It's 10:16 with Tommy Saunders. Be back after we zonk your zits.
Angel, angel, oh, angel, angel, oh, you are my special angel, angel, oh.
Or as Bobby Helms used to say, my special angel, right at 20 past 10. Now a brand new record. You can go out to your store and buy it, even though we know it's an oldie, right? But don't tell anybody.
Tommy Saunders!
The last of the Red Hot Saunderses, as he called himself, made the scene with his record machine every night on WOLF for 2 years. Along with Tom Saunders came a young man from Brooklyn, who was later to return to his hometown to become one of the top sportscasters in the big city. Your man, Marv Albert.
Stand by Syracuse. Well, gee. From the files of Wolf Radio, another Marvin Award.
We have some questions to ask of you also, and we'll get to that a little later on. And I know we have one of your favorite memory tunes standing by. Okay, it's 15 past 8, WOLF time. We have 44 degrees in town. All right, we're set with more music standing by. Incidentally, in a couple of moments, we'll have our song test contest. Harrison 27211 is the number to call. We have operators standing by. And if you know the name of the song and the name of the singers involved, if you're the first person to call us with the correct answers, you'll win yourself 2 free records at HA 27211. A blast from the past.
You are my theme for a dream, yes you are, a rare and lovely theme.
You're a thief for a dream.
Please make my dreams come true.
Could you imagine Marv Albert laughing?
It could happen, as May will be madness on Wolf.
Also during this time period, WOLF acquired an announcer who was to stay with the station for over 8 years, and who is still an on-the-air personality to this day. Jim Sims joined the staff as an announcer and production assistant in 1960. Meanwhile, the WOLF News Department was developing as one of the major disseminators of information in the central New York area. With the help of news director Hank Greenwald, Roger Zinser, and Ted Jones, WOLF became the Central New York Global News Center.
This is Paul Carter reporting WOLF Vanderline News on the half hour. You're just seconds ahead of the Jim Sims Show, Part 2.
Syracuse weather.
Snow and continued cold today, tonight, and tomorrow. High 10 today, low 0 tonight, high 12. 4 inches of snow expected through the night. It's 4 degrees at the airport, 5 degrees at WOLF Radio Park. Time on the tone will be 10 a.m. This is WOLF Syracuse, New York.
Repeating the WOLF top story of the moment.
Weather hits the Empire State hard. This news, a service of the Army. Your editor, Ron Holiday. This is Paul Carter reporting.
In 1959, there were 4 stations in Syracuse playing full-time rock and roll music. By 1962, the field had been narrowed down to 2. WOLF was faced with battling a station 20 times its size in power output, but not in quality. With program director Andy Andrews, WOLF achieved #1 ratings. The personality lineup began in the morning with Bob Dell, who started his career in North Syracuse on the now-defunct WJMK, continued with Charlie Featherstone and Ron Roberts, and ended with Dick Snyder.
And a good morning as we start your day with Double A right here at WOLF Wonderful Wolf in Syracuse. And here's a good buddy of mine, Del Shannon.
As I walk along, I wonder what went wrong with our love, although it was so strong. And I wonder where she will stay, my little runaway. Run, 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 run away.
Del Shannon, our friend Syracuse, back again with Runaway here on Wonderful Wolf Radio. 6 to 10 each morning here at Wonderful Wolf Radio. This is the AA Andy Andrews Show.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob Dell with Big New Dance Party. This Tuesday night, live on stage at Sportsorama, starting at 8 o'clock, Del Shannon, who has just returned from a successful trip of the near and far east. Also, Gene Thomas, who will sing her #1 song, Moon River. Brian Hyland of Itsy Bitsy Bikini fame, along with the Keystones, the Eternals, and Paul and the Velvets. That's this Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, Sportsorama, 2 big shows, admission only $1.50. Don't miss it, the big WOLF Easter Dance Party. And also, this Tuesday morning on the Dell Show, we will have a big surprise announcement concerning the show. So you be there, Tuesday night, Sportsorama, 8 o'clock, the big WOLF Easter Dance Party. Del Shannon, Gene Thomas, Ryan Hyland, the Keystone, the Eternal, and Paul and the Velvet. Andy Andrews and yours truly, Bob Dell, will MC the show. We'll see you Tuesday night.
Top on the record machine.
Top of the schoolhouse scene.
Top of the sweet rockin' way. So from you, WOLF 1490, top tune of the day.
Someplace in the world. Take it easy, be good, and remember, it's nice to be important, but more important to be nice. Till next time, this is Dick Snyder. I'll see you.
But, as is the law of nature in radio, DJs move on. Bob Dell is now program director of WTIC in Flint, Michigan. Dick Snyder is a successful morning man at WLOB in Portland, Maine. But they began their careers at WOLF, and when they left, new personalities emerged to take their places. Dale Kelly took over the reins as program director and hired new full and part-timers.
From the Groove Yard, exhumed especially for you this afternoon, Joey D and the Starlighters. It's called the Peppermint Twist, or the Candy Cane Hop. There they are, Joey D and the Starlighters. Remember down there at the Peppermint Lounge in New York City? The Peppermint Twist made its debut about 2 years ago and really smashed them in there. Rick Rutter, your host, right on up till 4 this afternoon. Then Dave Sennick comes your way. Have fun.
Have a wonderful afternoon with Radio 1490.
20 minutes before 2 in the afternoon, just 2 hours and 20 minutes away from the Dave Sennett Show.
WOLF. Syracuse's friendly giant. Pitch line. One.
Little Stevie Wonder. Fingertips in. Part 2. There it is, the big #1 tune all over the Wolf grounds. It's called Fingertips Part 2.
From live and lively wolf, living weather.
Weatherman says fry eggs on your car hood this afternoon. Winds west-southwest at 5. Some Sims can't type worth a darn.
The year is 1963, and WOLF provides the start to more successful radio careers. Careers in announcing and salesmanship. We hear now the original Big George Plavakis, then on WOLF.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big George presents
Juanita Banana.
Who?
Juanita Banana.
No.
Well, you don't want me to play it? Well, I'm sorry, but,
In a little quiet town, just south of the Mexican border.
Isn't that beautiful?
With something to us.
Yeah! Yes, that's Juanita Banana, done for you by the Peelies. The weather is the big story in the central New York area. Matter of fact, in the complete Northeast.
This is 149. Ow!
WOLF 1490.
Big George was heard at 10 o'clock on WOLF, immediately following the #1 morning man in Syracuse.
Hello, everybody. This is George Brewer. I'm on mornings on WOLF. And one thing about the program from 6 to 10 each morning is to provide you with the latest time.
I'd just as soon hear a commercial.
Get out of here, will you please? Get out of here. As I was saying, I give you the time very frequently, and also I give you...
Oh, come now.
Get out of here, please. I also play the best music available for the tastes of all young adults.
You remember what happened last time?
Will you kindly stop interrupting? Say, Art, would you mind getting that?
No, not at all, George. Hello?
That's Art, our operations manager. Well, anyway, things happen on the George Brewer Show. I get many telephone calls. That call there, for instance, might be WSYR calling to get the latest school closings. Or it could be WHEN to get the correct time. Then again, it might be the dandy one calling to find out what the #1 song is here on WOLF. Not only that, but I have a staff of characters to help me. Say something, Gabby.
Hi, this is Gabby, and I want to...
You gotta be kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me for all these interruptions. Now, Sam.
Yes?
Trixie.
What?
Gabby.
What do you want, buckaroo?
Now, stand by here. I've had enough of this. Now, the next guy that comes in and barges in on me while I'm talking is gonna get it. Now, I really had it this time. Oh. Yeah, here comes somebody. Get ready. This is another practical joker. And when he steps through that door, I feel sorry for him because he's going to get it. Now, you ready? Everybody, stand by. Here he is. Get him.
Hi, this is Ev Wren, General Manager of WOLF.
If anybody knows that telephone number, the unemployment office, will you give George a call tomorrow between 6 and 10 a.m.?
Time now for tears, laughter, heartaches, nostalgia, earaches, water on the knee, nosebleed, and indigestion. It's time now for Papa's General Store. Papa Fern, you'll remember, was furious at the idea he might be inducted back into the Boy Scouts, but Gilda Fink ate her licorice anyway. Peter Thudge, meanwhile, bought a new kite with a red, white, and blue tail and flew it in the backyard of Thelma Hernsmith, who was away on vacation somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. At the same time, Ferrohemoglobin was waiting to hear the good news as to whether he calculated the right amount of jelly beans in the Calculate the Right Amount of Jelly Beans contest at Papa's General Store.
As we open our story today, we find Papa Fern talking to his friends at the store. Of course, you can do that all the time, but you should
hold it down, folks. I've invited you here today to tell you all that I've thought it over very carefully and I've made up my mind. I'm going to sell this store and retire.
No, don't do it, Papa Fern.
All right, I won't.
Does Papa Fern really have a mind of his own? Will Harry Yutz admit to being Barney Quinby's third cousin on his mother's side? Tune in tomorrow if you've got the guts.
And in the afternoon period, the time when students are getting out of school and the working population of the city is commuting from their jobs to home, Wolfe wisely chose Windy Craig, the Weird Beard. Craig was one of the most successful announcers during this drive time period in the history of Syracuse radio. His many fans followed him to Suburban Park as he took part in the biggest radio promotion to that date, the setting of a new Ferris wheel riding record. Windy rode the wheel for 183 hours and 2 minutes, and the stunt attracted nationwide publicity.
It's another WOLF Power Hour with Windy Craig.
And here we go.
21 minutes till 5 o'clock, 21 before WOLF's Request Review. Marvin Gaye and Mary Wells. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's the matter with you, baby?
Whoa, whoa.
Marvin Gaye and Mary Wells teaming up for a great sound. That's number 16 on the $1 Million Music Survey. What's the matter with you, baby? 17 minutes now in front of 5 o'clock, 71 degrees in the Great Salt City. The Wendy Craig program in progress till 6. That's Dandy Dan Leonard show time. WOLF 1490. Whoopee is right. It's the bright, exciting All-American station. Here's a former WOLF sure shot by fearless Frank Ifield. All right, that's Frank Ifield on WOLF, and Sweet Lorraine it is, a former WOLF sure shot. And pick to click of the Wendy Craig program. It's 15 minutes before 5 o'clock.
Weird? Yes. Fun? Yes. Entertainment? Yes. Let's try from the top. Weird? Yes. What's so weird about it?
The beard.
The beard?
That's right, the weird beard comes to WOLF.
Coming to WOLF, the weird beard?
What's that?
The weird beard.
Stand by for fun, frolic, and loads of music as you tussle.
The weird beard on WOLF.
Shall we start again from the top?
Forget it.
11 minutes before 5 o'clock. It's 71 degrees outside. This is WOLF, where well-adjusted radios all agree.
The WOLF Lucky 1490 contest is in progress.
Fantastic gifts, tremendous value.
All free to WOLF listeners. Listen. Here's another prize to be given away on the Lucky 1490 contest when you have the right number.
Tomorrow morning on the Georgie Brewer Show between 7 and 8 a.m., a complete gym yard, which includes 2 swings, a glider, slides, and all the equipment for your own backyard playground. That's on the George Brewer Show tomorrow morning between 7 and 8 a.m., a complete gym yard worth well over $70. Be listening for your Lucky 1490 number tomorrow on the George Brewer Show.
Wendy Craig, the Weird Beard, is now a prominent production man in New York City. In the summer of 1963, WOLF's program consultant, Art Wander, discovered a disc jockey in Newark, New York, who was to become the most successful announcer in the history of Syracuse radio. Combining a unique style of rapid pace and high-pitched announcing with a trend for spotting the hits of the day, the Blooming Idiot captured the Syracuse audience.
Hi, Peter and Gordon and I go to pieces. Now, there's another song that Jim O'Brien said would be a flop. It's from Beatles for sale. It's Words of Love. Beatles, you're too much. You are a... Fine, I guess it was solid. Words of love. If I got a lot of mail today about the Beatles not being able to come back to America for a while. In case you missed it, I'll let you know again that the Beatles will not be returning to America, at least for quite a while. It's not, they have no more scheduled trips, and as of right now, the Beatles have no intention of returning to America, according to their manager, Brian Epstein, because they're having a tax dispute with the federal government. And they made $2.8 million here in America in their last trip. But the Beatles so far have yet to gain 1 cent of that, as it's all in the United States Treasury Department. And, you know, they're having this tax dispute. Maybe when they get it worked out, we'll see the lads again. 29 degrees in Syracuse, weatherman says snow tonight with light snow, but tomorrow increasing throughout the afternoon. The high tomorrow is going to be 25. Tonight's going down to 15. Right now, it's 29.
Here he is. What?
On top of a Smokey, all covered with hair. Of course, I'm referring to Smokey the Bear.
Remember, you heard it on WOLF.
Bud Ballou, after his stay in Syracuse, went to Buffalo to take the place of the great Joey Reynolds.